Today is October 21st, 2025, and that means the NBA season is back. We are back. First games are tonight. So we'll look at those a little bit, then look at Wednesday's games, Thursday's games, the primetime games. So NBA is officially back, as I said. This is Balling Out. Shawn, Nate here today. No Grant, he had some other business to attend to, but that's fine. We're going to hold it down for him. Talk about some NBA games. Nate, I know you're looking forward to, a couple of games. The games tonight, of course, because it's tip-off. OKC gets their ring. A couple
Yes,
other
sir.
storylines with that. And then, tomorrow we got a couple, good primetime games. That's when everybody else plays too.
hmm
So yeah, first couple of days is like kind of whack because you got today where it's two games, tomorrow everybody else plays, and then Thursday is two games. So it's a little weird, but hoops is back.
Hey,
It gives you some
basketball is back,
man
and
for
I love
real,
it. This offseason was way too long.
bro. Way too long, and I feel like way too boring too. It
Yes,
wasn't
bro.
enough. It wasn't enough storylines. I mean,
Was
literally the
not
only
enough.
thing that was about Giannis, and nothing happened with Giannis. So
Nothing.
yeah,
I mean, it'll probably happen eventually, but we'll see. We'll see. The biggest thing was obviously KD, but I think everyone kind of knew that he was probably not going to stay in Phoenix anyway. So,
right,
you know,
right. Especially at the trade deadline when they said he was going to try to deal him to Golden State.
right.
So I mean, that was pretty much already wrapped. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So speaking of KD, let's get into it. KD first game tonight on Tuesday. KD takes on his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, with his new team, the Houston Rockets. Obviously, it's OKC is ring night, banner night, so pretty big for them. I mean, this is like for me for any sport. I always like to see like the visiting team, ruin ring night or whatever for any sport that is. For basketball, I think it's just goes a little bit more. But yeah, KD's first game in Houston. What's your thoughts? How do you think the fit is going to be? They coming out with that big lineup, starting I think dudes all over like 6'9", which is
Dude,
crazy.
that's.
So
I'm excited to see it. I mean, it, obviously they got KD in the lineup now, but to see how he's going to work with Amen, Sengun, Jabari, and Steven Adams in the starting lineup too. I think that's having Sengun at the four is going to be interesting. KD at the
yeah,
two or the
yeah,
three.
yeah.
That's gonna
It's
be
weird.
that's gonna be interesting to see. But I think they're gonna match up pretty interesting just because I mean you're gonna have Amen on Shea obviously, and then you're probably gonna have what I don't know if OKC had their lineups out yet, but you're obviously gonna have J-Dub at three. You're probably gonna have Chet and Ihart again at four and five. So it's gonna be a big lineup out there for tonight's game. But I think KD obviously he fits so well with any team he really plays with that he can really just work in with the offense. But it's gonna be interesting to see too how just they communicate on the floor tonight. I know they got OKC obviously pretty heavily favored for tonight's game just because they're at home and they got ring night. So it'll be interesting to see. I know obviously too Houston's got some injuries, so that might kind of hinder them a little bit tonight, but it'll be fun to watch, especially with Katie coming back to OKC.
Man, nah, for real. And you said something about remember J Dub, he's out. He's still dealing with that wrist injury, so he's not even in
That's
the starting
facts. That's
lineup.
facts. He not
They
playing
got
tonight.
Yeah, so they got SGA, Caruso, Lou
Okay,
Dort,
I was thinking
Holmgren, and
Caruso and
Hart.
yeah, Lou Dort. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey, Houston, like you said, you got KD at the two, Sengun at the four, which is different. I mean,
hmm
that length is going to be crazy going up against. I mean, OKC has always been like, last year they were a good defensive team, so I think it'll be
hmm
really interesting to see, how they kind of throw it at them. I think one thing I'm kind of looking forward to, obviously you know about the Fred VanVleet injury that happened, a couple weeks ago, and he's out for the season now, so it's like who's gonna kind of step into that playmaking role for Houston? A lot of people have said like Amen, he can kind of because of his playmaking abilities he showed last year. But I think it's gonna be like by committee, and interested to see if Reed Shepard what he can do if he gets some PT,
Yeah,
which I think he'll be a good fit for
they're
that team.
they're definitely gonna have to swing the ball around tonight because yeah, I
Man,
mean they don't have a lot of ball handlers in that sense. And I mean obviously they could throw it to KD in the mid post and let him go to work all night if they wanted to. But I think to kind of have OKC play some tough defense, try to get them exhausted on that end of the ball, that's gonna be something that they're really gonna have to focus on tonight is swing the rock and actually getting good looks in the paint. Just because I think with them having that big lineup, I mean, I definitely think Hartenstein and Chet are good defensively, but if they try to go into the paint every single time, it's definitely going to tire them out a little bit.
Man, facts. And you got big body Steven Adams down there. Steven
Right.
Adams and KD back at it again, bro. We haven't
I
seen that
know.
since what,
Yeah, Steven
2013?
Adams back in OKC too tonight, so he's gonna
That's
have to watch them
yeah,
get their rings.
that's true.
I think it'll be a good game. I know that, OKC's obviously they got that team chemistry and that championship pedigree now, but I think it'll still be a close game.
I think so. I think so too. They got the line right now at OKC 6.5. I think
Hmm.
it'll be pretty close to that. I think I don't know. Like I want to say OKC is gonna win, but as I said, a couple minutes ago, I kind of like the visiting team to kind of ruin ring night. So I don't know. I know it's gonna be a good game. It should be a competitive game. Hopefully, it's not like a blowout because if
Yeah,
it's like last, I think it was what last year, or the year before. Yeah, no, it was last year with Boston. Yeah, and that game was a
yeah,
blowout. I was highly disappointed at that. I was disappointed.
yeah.
So
Blowouts
yeah,
night one are never what you want,
facts,
but
facts.
I feel like these ring night games too, sometimes the home team gets a little too hyped up beforehand. So maybe they come out to a little bit of a slower start just because of that, or don't have as much energy on one end of the floor. So it'll be interesting to see. I will go with the OKC just because they are at home right now, though. But I think KD will still have a good game regardless.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna hoop, and I'm excited to see what Jabari Smith can do. In that starting role right there too. So
Yes,
that would be interesting.
if he can knock down a couple corner threes tonight, that'll be huge for him.
Facts, facts. I mean, we saw glimpses of it. Like he can shoot. He was
Hmm.
doing it last year. The storyline's been like he's been warming up, practicing with KD. Mimicking like what he can do. So hopefully, you don't try to do everything KD can do because that might be bad. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Yeah. Second game, Golden State takes on your Lakers, but unfortunately, the Lakers don't have LeBron James. He's going to be out for the next month and a half or so, dealing with the nerve injury or whatnot. What do you think, since you're a Bron Lakers fan, what do you think, has to go right for this first month and a half, LeBron list for the Lakers to kind of, be up there, the expectations, top six in the West?
I mean, I'm gonna hold it down for Grant and I just because he's not here right now. Uh, But obviously, I mean, it's gonna depend on how Luka plays on the offensive end for sure. But I want to see too just how some of their newer pickups, DeAndre Ayton plays, and how he can be on the defensive end. Marcus Smart, I want to see how much run he gets tonight. Another guy too, I mean, Austin Reeves, I think he has a lot of big expectations coming in this season as well. With LeBron not being there, I think in times last season he was still able to hold his own in terms of still kind of making the offensive run. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously the show goes through Luca. It's really going to depend on how he can play tonight. But I like their chances. I think Golden State is favored right now, but I would not be surprised if LA can sneak out a win at home.
They might be able to. I think, another good competitive game. I think the Lakers could possibly sneak one out. I'm interested to see because they're starting Gabe Vincent, bro. Like, I don't know.
Is he
I would
had
have,
he had some nice games in the preseason, but that is preseason, so
yeah.
it's really gonna for him, a guy like him too. It's gonna depend on what kind of shots he's gonna be getting on the floor.
Hmm.
And is he going to be able to help other players like Austin Reeves get open if he is making shots? Help players like Luca and, things like that, where obviously he's not going to be the main ball handler. He's not really going to be running the offense, but if he can knock down shots, that's just going to open the floor for other guys. So,
True, true. Yeah. Then on the Golden State side, obviously, they come back, Jimmy Butler, Steph, Draymond. They add Al Horford, to that. I'm interested to see how that will kind of fit, where his role will kind of be, for the Warriors. What are your thoughts on, Big L and the Golden State?
I actually was kind of surprised, honestly, when I heard he was going there. I mean, I'm glad he's still playing. I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see if they use him a lot like how they did in Boston, kind of as that pick and pop kind of guy. But I
Mm,
think I think with just how good he is on defense too, he's really going to help this team. They lost Looney. Hopefully he can still move them puppies a little bit, on defense. Because him in Boston, he was still clamping up a little bit. So I think that's always been a part of his game that has kind of been a little underrated in my opinion. But we'll see. I mean, he's like 40 years old now.
Man, Man, yeah, he is old, and I mean, like you said, he can still contribute, to a team to winning basketball. It's just, yeah, I think, the fit. I'm interested to see how it'll fit, like him and Draymond,
Hmm.
because he's in Boston. He was like the primary big. I mean, obviously, he played with Porzingis. And we saw a little bit of that, but Porzingis, kind of lived out. You don't know about Porzingis. He lives outside the paint, and likes to shoot.
Hmm.
So, Draymond, I mean, he likes to shoot a little bit, but he's more of like the facilitator. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how that fit will go. Especially for tonight against Lakers team that I guess got kind of big.
We'll see.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's definitely going to stretch the floor out for him, which is big, just because I think the Warriors have kind of needed that from a center in the past. Like they normally, I know last year they were playing post a lot, and obviously he's not really known as a shooter. So I think being able to throw in a guy like Horford, he'll be able to kind of give you a different look on the floor every now and then in some stretches during the game. So even him running alongside some younger guys, I know Kuminga's kind of game time decision, but like, even with that second unit, he might be able to still kind of to fit in because I mean I think anywhere Horford's gone, he's been able to kind of play his game still. He doesn't really
True.
have to change necessarily how the offense is running.
True. Yeah. Yeah, no, so yeah, that'll be interesting, how those two
But I do got
games
the
go tonight.
Lakers.
You got the Lakers.
I got
I
the
was about to
Lakers.
ask you.
I
You
will
got the
I will
Lakers, of
take the
course.
Lakers.
Yeah, Golden State 2.5. I don't know. I like Golden State, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if like Luka goes crazy and drops like 30 points, 30, 10, and 8, something crazy like that.
Little light triple double.
Man, yeah, light triple double, flirting with a triple double. I think Austin Reeves, he's gonna step up and have a big night too. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see what ends up happening
Hmm.
tonight's games. Yeah. Then going in, tomorrow, looking at tomorrow, we got Cleveland, New York. That's the first game, first primetime game, and then San Antonio and Dallas. For the Cleveland, New York game, I think I just saw a Shams report just before we got on here that Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson are out.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know how much of a thing that will be, for the Knicks. But Mike Brown, his first game as the coach for the Knicks, going up against Cleveland, who had the best record in the East last year. They basically brought all their pieces back from last year, in addition to Lonzo Ball, coming off the bench. I don't know if Garland's playing. I don't.
I think he's
Yeah.
out. I think he's
Okay.
out.
So Darius Garland's in playing. So that means Lonzo is going to be
Him,
starting.
him, and Max Strus are listed as out right now. Obviously,
Yeah.
Strus is out for I think this next month. But
Okay. Okay. So what's your thoughts on that game?
personally, got it's a pretty close line. It's 1.5 favored to the Knicks right now. Probably just because they're at home right now too. But I think this is gonna be a good game too. I mean, obviously Cleveland is kind of that regular season dominant team, and New York after coming off a good season last year, like you said, it'll be interesting to see new coach, no Jay Hart, but I think Brunson running the offense, they're obviously always going to have a chance to win the game. So I'd probably go with New York on this one, but man, I don't know though. Cleveland, they're so tough, even though they're on the road. I don't think it necessarily matters for them sometimes, just because they play so well together. But obviously, yeah, Donovan Mitchell's gonna have to have a big game if Garland's not there. But um, they're gonna have a tough look out for another good matchup too with Towns if he does play, and either Jared Allen or Mobley, whoever guards him.
Mm.
But I like that big matchup.
That big matchup, yeah, that'll be huge. That'll be key. I'm excited to see Mobley. I think he's gonna take another leap this year going in, into this season. Speaking of staying on the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell likes playing in the Garden. So
Hmm.
I think, yeah, this game will definitely be close. I like that 1.5 line. I think I'm gonna go Cleveland though. I think I'm gonna go the upset.
Okay.
I like Cleveland in that game.
Yeah, I might have to side with you too, just because I want to see Lonzo play too. I'm excited to watch Lonzo
Yeah.
play. It's been him in the Garden, he might go crazy.
Facts, facts. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. If Lonzo, a healthy Lonzo Ball, what he can do. Because he can kind of play like how he's been playing, but then that facilitator role, doesn't really have to do much of the scoring.
Hmm.
He's like the third, fourth option scoring. Yeah, that should be good, man. And then the second game, San Antonio and Dallas. The big storyline there is Wemby versus Cooper Flag. But I'm interested to see instead of Wemby and Cooper Flag, I'm kind of interested to see how the guard play we're gonna do on the two guard. I don't know if De'Aaron Fox is gonna play, but you got Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, D'Lo, who's the two, Max Christie, Klay Thompson, those guys.
Hmm.
Interested to see how that will go. Dallas is favored 2.5 in that one. I like that just because I think that they're at home. They might do
Hmm.
that, but I mean Wemby might feast though. Is Anthony Davis going to be able to stop Wemby though?
Yeah. No, I do like to see those guards play too. I think uh, obviously I would say Dallas probably has the better team right now. You know, obviously with San Antonio being so young, they could be sneaky athletic on the court and super quick down the floor. They might just try to use their speed to their advantage and try to run them all night up and down the court. So yeah, it is shown that Fox is out right now. So
Okay.
that just I think gives more room for a guy like Steph Castle and Harper to. I actually don't really know how many minutes Harper's going to play, but I would assume he's at least going to get some run.
Yeah.
But yeah, with how Dallas was looking in the preseason too, they already look like they got a lot of good chemistry. I think they have championship aspirations this year. Obviously, with them trading Luka just within this last year. Um, AD, of course, is gonna have to step up this season for them
Facts.
with Kyrie being out for a little bit. But yeah, I do like this matchup. I think Dallas takes this one at home in the first game, but I would not be surprised if San Antonio can, come out to a hot start for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, like you said, Anthony Davis is gonna have to step up. He's gonna have to kind of be, the number one option, which he hasn't had to do since what, New Orleans? I mean, he did a little bit of it, when Brown was out, but I
Right.
mean, they still had Brown, Reeves and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, he's gonna have to step up big time. He's got a big defensive battle, with Wemby too. So, yeah,
Hmm.
no, that should be a really good game. Two good primetime games, tomorrow for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Any other game you looking forward to tomorrow?
I think tomorrow, I know, here, let me double check. I was looking at one. Obviously, the Pistons play, which
Yep.
I think that'll be exciting to see Cade start a new season, see kind of how he leads his team against the Bulls. I know I was at a game 2 years ago that it was a season where they only won like, what, 16, 17 games,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
uh, they still won in their home openers, so I'm excited to see they're in Chicago, but I think they definitely have a good shot with this kind of weaker Bulls team this year. Trying to see if there's another game that kind of excited about. Pelicans Grizzlies might be kind of fun. Just John Zion,
Hmm.
see how they kind of play against each other. Obviously them being in the same draft class, I think that's always kind of a fun matchup to watch. I know, man, I just overall I'm excited to watch these games, really. I think being able to see kind of what players are gonna take significant roles in the offense, it's gonna be fun to see. But what you looking for?
I mean, other than the two games we mentioned, I mean, obviously, you got the Pistons and the Bulls. Like you said, you touched on it. The Bulls are kind of, in that rebuild or tool stage. So we'll see how that goes. I think the Pistons will come on top of there. But that's really it. I'm not even really excited for my own team. The Clippers. We play the Jazz. I'm not even like.
You're not excited for Ace Bailey?
I mean, I saw he might not even play. I saw he might not even play because of his whole knee thing. So,
That's true. That's true.
um, yeah, I mean, I Laurie Markkinen. I mean, that's about it. And Bryce Sensabaugh. I don't know, if I want to watch that.
Yeah.
But I mean, nah, it like you said, New Orleans, Memphis. I think that'll be another good one. Philly and
Hmm.
Boston, depending on who plays for Philly.
Hmm.
If Boston, who's there, that could be potentially another good game too. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, you got Brooklyn and Charlotte playing. That's not gonna be fun at all to watch. Washington and Milwaukee. I mean, unless you're a Bucks fan, that's not gonna be fun to watch either. Then you got Sacramento and
So
Phoenix.
you
Like,
don't want to watch some Bub Carrington, some Alex Sarr year two?
I mean, yeah, I am interested to see Alex Sarr year two, but I mean, against Giannis is gonna go for like 40, 45 points. So I mean.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
I don't
true.
know how interesting that would be. So, yeah, that's pretty much with Wednesday's
Little
slates.
Keyshawn George on the Wizards.
Little Keyshawn George. Don't they still got Chris Middleton? Isn't he still there?
Yeah, they got some hoopers, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
They,
hey,
I don't think they'll be as bad as they were last year. I mean, it's pretty hard
no,
to have a season like they did last year, but
yeah,
they got some better veterans on their team. You know, hopefully they can provide a little more with the offense, CJ, Chris. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, against Giannis, it might be a little tough
yeah.
trying to trying to guard that paint.
Facts. Yeah, they're gonna have to come up with something, man. The front offensive line or something in that game. I don't even know. I don't even know. So yeah, that's Wednesday's matchups, and then looking ahead to Thursday, got the finals rematch, OKC and Indiana. It'll be a little bit different, because Indiana doesn't have Tyrese. That'll be their first game of the season, and then Denver Golden State, the nightcap. You got Denver their first game going up against Golden State. What's your thoughts on those two games, real quick?
Uh, like you said, I think the finals rematch will be fun to watch, even though Tyrese ain't playing. Still going to be interesting to see kind of how Indiana bounces back this season. Is a guy like Nemhard going to step up? Is Mathurin going to step up? With them not having Miles Turner this season too, it's going to be interesting to see how their defense kind of shapes out. In terms of Denver Golden State too, I think that's always a good matchup. Just seeing Jokic and Curry go against each other. I think those are two guys that obviously know how to kind of lead their team, but they're just fun to watch in general. So that'll be a fun game to
Yeah.
see. But I wanted to touch on this. Not to alarm you, but Clippers, they got Kawhi, James Harden, and Chris Paul and Brook Lopez all game time decisions. So I'm just letting you know before
I'm not
that.
surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised at this point. I mean, and once again, we play the Utah Jazz, so
Damn near the whole starting lineup is doesn't know if they're gonna play until game time. So
I
they
mean, as
gonna
long
warm
as
up and then see how their bodies.
facts. I mean, hey, if they give me 20 minutes, I'll be fine with that. 20
There you
minutes is
go.
solid. You're playing the Utah Jazz. They should
Yeah.
easily win that game.
Yeah.
If they lose, then next pod, you're gonna hear a
No, it's
rant
gonna
from
be a
me for
long
sure.
year. If they lose, it's gonna be a long year.
Man, for real. But
Uh,
yeah, so yeah, that's the slate, couple days of the NBA season coming along. Before we end things, anything else you looking forward to in these? I mean, obviously, I know you looking forward to hoops coming back, but I mean, any other big storylines, you kind of watching out for this season as we, start the season up.
I don't got a ton. I mean, I want to know who do you think's winning MVP this year, though? I want to know that, I guess.
My pick is Giannis. My pick is Giannis right
Okay,
now, just because he's gonna have to backpack the Milwaukee Bucks, and if they want to be relevant and try to make it to the playoffs, he is going to have to be the man and put up video game numbers. So I'm leaving
I like
Giannis.
that. I like that. I
What
think,
about you?
man, that's tough. I think Shea probably won't get it again. I think their team just keeps getting better, so I don't think he'll have to do as much. It's hard not to say a guy like Giannis or Jokic, but I might have to go with Jokic for now, just because I think their team made some good moves in the offseason to better help his success in the offense. So,
Mm,
depending on how they actually start off the year, I think a lot of that, and obviously with him already winning twice, there might be a little bit of voters fatigue. Um, but I'll go with him right now just because I think he's probably one of the best players in the league right now. But it could obviously change. I think even having a guy like Shea win it last year, I think it opens a lot more conversation to looking at some of the guards in the league, like Brunson or some other guys. I think Grant, he had that hot take, Maxey winning the MVP,
yeah, he did.
which
He did.
I
I don't know
mean,
about all that.
I don't know about all that, but he he might he might have a shot at least of averaging a good amount of points. I think there's going to be some guys that are definitely going to be eyeing it this season. But I like that Giannis pick.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I'm not mad at the Jokic pick. Like you said, they tooled around him, added some pieces, that he needed this year. So yeah, no, that I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he was close to winning it last year. I think the reason why he didn't win it was just because, Shea and OKC had the best record. I wouldn't be
Mm,
surprised if he will be in the race for sure again for it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up winning it this year. So
yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, but that's all we got for today. happy basketball watching, and we will keep you guys updated as the season goes along. So until next time, we'll catch you then.